For the first 3 years of our relationship, I was completely and totally in love. I was very young, and we were happy. He was normal.
It's a theme that is very familiar in this kind of story, and so it was once for Jeannie Walker, now a licensed massage therapist and the owner of Grand Prairie's Indigo Wellness. Back then, she was living in Mansfield with a man that she had 2 children with. The first was a girl.
When she was about 2 years old is when I got my first slap. Shocked me. Like, oh, it's just a slap, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, here's a rose. Never happen again kind of thing.
But predictably, it was only just beginning. The first red flag in a pattern of behavior known as the cycle of violence.
If I didn't cook the right dinner, I'd get punched and the plate would go flinging into the ceiling, or it was just after that, after she was really about 2.5, 3 years old is when in my house you just walked on complete eggshells.
The statistic I hear a lot is that most battered women go back 8 times before they finally leave their abuser.
For Jeannie, it was 5 times, the last coming when he turned his rage toward their little girl.
She had done something, I don't even remember what, but he had picked her up and he let her go and he was very tall, he dropped her on a glass table, shattered. And that was the day I realized that, okay, it's one thing to hit me, but the minute you put your hands on my kid, it just woke up. It was just enough. It was my breaking point.
The case ended up in the court system, and by then, at stake was the custody of 7-year-old April and their second child, 3-year-old Jessie.
Jeannie's case was very extreme, and what's so sad about her case is once she finally had the courage to leave, she didn't have the resources or didn't know about the resources to protect her and her children, and you know, it's tragic what happened to her child.
The judge in the case awarded temporary custody of both of their children to the father. Jeannie was allowed supervised visitation. Soon after came the day her worst fears were realized, when she and an innocent 3-year-old were at the mercy of a man apparently bent on contempt.
He told me that I could no longer see my children. He told me that I better say goodbye to my son because he was taking away from me the one thing that I loved the most, unless I was willing to come home right now. By 5 o'clock that afternoon, I got the call that that my son had passed. I was told 3 or 4 different stories, so I still don't really know what happened. I'll never know.
Eventually, the father was sentenced to 9 months for intoxication manslaughter after Jeannie pleaded with authorities to look deeper into what was ruled an accidental death. The unimaginable loss left her devastated and isolated. April was turned over to the care of Jeannie's mother, who lived in New York. So about a year later, after the birth of a second daughter, Jeannie decided it was time to leave Texas to join them and start all over. It was there that she went to school to earn her massage therapy license, which also provided her a new sense of direction.
It gave me a purpose. It gave me a purpose to help others, which started to change me on the inside. The more that I helped people, the happier I got, and the more that I helped people, the more I felt like I had to give back. There was hope. There was hope in sight.
I'm a riser. I'm a get up off the ground, don't run and hide her. Pushing comes and shoving, hey, I'm a fighter.
Indigo Wellness, this is April speaking. How may I help you?
Survivor.
20 years after that fateful day, Jeannie's daughter April is still by her side, back in Texas, helping her manage her thriving business on Main Street in Grand Prairie. Ironically, it is just blocks away from the organization that has been here all along with the sole mission of helping people just like them.
Jeannie's a prime example of why we need the word out. We need everybody to share our story.
Founded in 1977, Children First provides hope and healing through education and counseling, serving as many as 1,200 people a year. including children, adolescents, and adults.
If I could have just had somebody that I could safely say, I'm getting beaten. I need help. I need help out. You know, I'm scared for my children and I. Just to be able to say that, oh my God.
Sadly, there was no one there to tell her about an agency whose sole reason for existence is breaking that terrible cycle.
It crosses all boundaries: race, religion, income, socioeconomic status, all of it. It touches everything.
It overloads our justice system and our police department.
There is this problem, and that's why we're here, and that's why we keep working. And that's, you know, you have both sides of it, both the rewarding and these heartbreaking ones where that help didn't get where it was needed.
When you're in that mind frame, to stay or to leave, is it safe? Is it not? Is anyone going to hear me? Is anyone going to help me? Is he just going to kill me and the kids? You know, you don't, it becomes so, the fear makes everything so confusing. You don't know who to trust. You don't know where to turn.
I'm a trier.
Instead, for a long time, she's been taking it one day at a time, choosing to heal others and herself, and to speak up and let as many people as she can know that hope really is a phone call away.
Children First Counseling.
To have support like that, I believe my son would still be here to this day. I believe that we all would have been okay.